Hi, welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. In my ongoing pursuit of a Marseille tarot deck that I will enjoy working with more than others, I keep collecting, I keep refining, I keep finding new ones that I like better than the ones I previously had. I found this one online, which is really beautiful. Actually, the cards are prettier than the box. The box, that's the back design on the cards. That's the Fool. And there's the other side of the box. It's the Le Tarot de Marseille Fournier. The labeling is a little bit confusing. I did get this through Amazon. I'm not sure how or where they got it. It didn't take that long to come in the mail, a few days. It wasn't an overnight thing, but it wasn't even a full week. The publisher is Marseille Heraclio Fournier, Naipes, Heraclio, Heraclio, Fournier, Fournier. They're made in Spain, and they're a different size than the usual cards. It comes with a little white book, which is a little bit different. It's kind of scrunched up because it's a square format book. And one thing I actually really like about this is we always think that, the English language must come first. This one, because it was published in Spain, actually, yeah, it starts with the Spanish language, then English, French, which makes sense. It has 5 languages: Spanish, English, French, German, and Portuguese. But anyway, so yeah, it's a stapled little book. It's kind of weird the way they did this. I don't know why they didn't just bind it in a regular type binding, because it's separated into pages anyway. But it's more or less typical what you usually see in little white books. Nothing too special. The usual kind of keywords and phrases. The deck comes with 2 extra cards. Oh, these are the backs, by the way, which I really like. I really love that pattern. It's kind of an op art sort of design that if you stare at it too long, you'll see certain areas come forward and others fade to the back. You can really hypnotize yourself into a trance looking at these backs. It's very pretty ornamentation. Comes with 2 little cards here in color. One's in English, and well, this one's in Spanish, but it says the same thing here. Traditional designs reinforced by suggestive and beautiful coloring. And that's what it is. I wanted to show you the card size is different. The cards feel fantastic. They're silky, satiny, very slippery. They're almost akin to plastic cards in how slippery they are. But just to show you, they are smaller than traditional tarot size. I would say, they're almost a half an inch shorter and less wide. The coloring is beautiful. The coloring on most of them is heavily oranges and blues and reds. So it has a kind of an autumn feel. There's only one language on it. It's French. And the shading is lovely. It's beautiful, sort of three-dimensional painterly shading. Again, I apologize for my lighting and camera work. This is only to give you the briefest idea of what these cards are like, which you may see better filmed in another person's walkthrough. But it's probably best to just go ahead and get yourself a copy of these and enjoy them on your own. I think you can get enough of a sense of the coloring and quality of the images from this, even though my camera work is not that great. I really do love the size and feel and coloring of this deck. If anything, some might find them too slippery, but some people that have trouble with regular tarot card size being too large might like this better because it's a little bit smaller. Oh, there's also a lot of blue hair in this deck. This is kind of fun. But they have a nice warm glow with these oranges and blues and reds. Now, when it comes to the minors, there are 4 different shades. The pentacles are in a sort of a yellowish green. I mean, they're kind of yellow. They're more green, I would say, than yellow, but there is a green suit, so there's different than this yellow one. Here's the typical 2 of Pentacles. It says Fabrique par Heraclio Fournier, Victoria. I think Victoria is possibly the locale these were published in, and the other is the publisher. These do have little Roman numerals on the bottom. They're not always in the center. Sometimes they're in the corner, like here. And sometimes they're just kind of off-center here. So if you don't like that, I mean, if you're picky about that, this might be a problem for you, but it doesn't bother me. Now, there were a couple of cards that at first gave me pause. This one has the labeling down one side instead of at the bottom like all the rest of the cards, and I thought, well, are all the pages that way or only this one? And it's only this one. And I did find another Marseille that follows this illustration style. I think I don't know if it's the Fournier illustrations, or I'm not really clear on who. The labeling on this isn't really clear on who's the publisher, who's the designer of the artwork, who's the artist that, you know, re-rendered these and colored them. But anyway, this is consistent with another deck I saw where only the page of Pentacles has the labeling down the side. I don't know why that is, but this deck isn't an anomaly. It follows through whatever that tradition was. Maybe one of you has the answer that you can post in the comments below. Here we're now into orangey color for the cups. Actually, you can't really tell probably, but there's a kind of a magenta pink there that I really like. I sort of wish they had more of it in this suit, but it's only on the ace. Now on the 2, there's a little label information in the bottom here, and it says Marseille de Gouler, Martixudeguler, Spécialiste du Tarot, which makes me think that maybe they're the person that designed the deck. And underneath it says A period Aymerich, Aymerich, Création Artistique. So I'm guessing that that's the name of the artist that did the coloring. But they don't seem to be credited anywhere else on the box or in the booklet. You can see the Roman numerals jump around on the sides of these too. I hadn't noticed that before, and it doesn't bother me, which is odd because I'm really finicky about a lot of stuff, but all those things I've come to accept. Now there is a card coming up. Well, you'll see it in one of the swords. There's a little minor issue that bugged me at first. Even that I'm getting used to. I recently did a walkthrough of the Vincent Petici deck, and as of this stage, I'm having trouble deciding which do I like better, this deck or the Petici, and they're on an even kale in a race to the finish line for favorites. But I have a couple others ordered on the way in the mail, so we'll see what happens. These are the swords, beautiful. This is a blue suit, and the swords do change coloring a little bit. This one's sort of a silver sword, but there's an orange one coming up, and there's a lot of black. I like these a lot. There's the orange one. Now, here's the other card I was talking about. See this little teeny tiny font info? Initially that ruined the whole deck for me, because some people don't like copyright stuff on there. This is actually not exactly a copyright. It's in very small print, and I've come to get used to it and kind of ignore it, but it might be an issue for some. It says Heraclio Fournier Victoria, made in Spain. So I guess it's sort of copyright, even though there's not a copyright year on it. And actually, speaking of the copyright year, the box says 2019 for the copyright, so I guess this came out not too long ago. This sort of, the obscure nature of the labeling on this deck gives me pause as to whether to list this in my walkthrough as Le Tarot de Marseille, the Fournier Tarot, the Heraclio Fournier. I don't know what to call it. So the labeling on the box, the labeling on the tarot is going to be on the labeling on the video is going to be a little confusing. These are the wands now in green, and you see a sort of a almost three-dimensional shading on that particular ace. And then, of course, we go back more traditional with our wands. These are very soft and approachable, the coloring of these images. I really like this. Oh, did I not show the Fool already? There he is at the bottom. I don't know if it came that way or if I've been handling these a lot lately. I might have just put them out of order. They feel really nice. They're very slick, very slippery. I think they shuffle very well. They're pretty to look at. They're comfortable to hold. They're warm and comforting, these illustrations. They're very soft and soothing. Do you have this deck? What do you think about it? Pluses and minuses. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time.